What's up, creative people? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Zenaida and this is Fashion with Zenai, a place to inspire fashion lovers, to share my love for fashion and DIY projects. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a loungewear pants. So without further ado, let's jump right into the tutorial. For this tutorial, you will need the following tools. You can find all these materials in the description box down below. The fabric that I'm going to use is a cotton fabric. It's 70% cotton and 30% polyester, and it's also stretchy. To create the pants, you're going to need a pattern. You can find a digital pattern of this pants on my Etsy shop. I will leave the link in the description box. I used pattern size XS. If you're not sure about your measurements, you can find a video on my channel on how to take your own body measurements. The link will be in the description box. The pants has 6 pattern pieces, 2 front pieces, a pocket facing, a pocket back, a back piece, and a waistband piece. You have to cut 1 piece for the waistband and cut 2 pieces for the front, back, and pocket pieces. For each piece, you're going to add seam allowance. Add 1.5 centimeter seam for the hem and add 1 centimeter seam on all edges of the front, back, pockets, and the waistband. Once you cut out all the fabric pieces, you're going to start with the sewing process. Place the back piece on top of the other back piece with the good side of the fabric facing each other. Insert the pin along the center back seam edge. Then you're going to overlock the edges with an overlocking machine. Connect the 2 front pieces of one leg together. Place 1 piece on top of the other front piece with the wrong side of the fabric facing each other. Insert the pin along the seam edge and you do the same for the other front leg pieces. Overlock the edge on the good side of the fabric for both front leg pieces. Now you're going to connect the pocket facing and pocket back to the front piece. Connect the pocket facing piece to the front with the good side of the fabric facing each other. Pin along the seam edge. Sew the edges with 1 centimeter seam on a sewing machine. Iron along the seam to press it flat. Fold the pocket from the seam edge inside. Then you're going to top stitch along the seam edge. Insert the pin and sew it with 1 centimeter seam along the seam edge. Now you're going to connect the pocket back to the pocket facing with the good side of the fabric facing each other. Pin along the pocket seam edge. You're going to sew the edges with an overlocking machine. Connect the center front seam edge with the good side of the fabric facing each other. Pin along the seam edge. Sew the edges. Secure the side edge of the pocket with a pin. Now you're going to place the front piece on top of the back piece with the good side of the fabric facing each other. Then you're going to pin and sew along the side seam and inseam. To sew along the inseam, I'm starting from the bottom of one leg pant along to the center, which is right at the crotch, and from there all the way to the other leg pant. If you're struggling with sewing along the inseam, I suggest you start sewing at the center, right at the crotch, and go down towards each leg. So you start at the center and go one way, and you start at the center and go the other way. This is how it will look like. Now we're going to move on to the waistband of the pants. Fold the waistband in half and press it flat with an iron. Then you're going to connect the seam edges together. Pin and sew the seam edge with 1 cm seam. Iron the seam flat, fold it in half to hide the seam. Then you're going to connect the waistband to the waist edge of the pants with the good side of the fabric facing each other. Connect the seam together. Pin along the waist seam edge. You're going to leave about 5 cm unsewn right at the center back where the seam is, because that's where you're going to insert the elastic after. Sew the edge with 1 cm seam. The elastic should fit perfectly, so you don't have to stretch the waistband while you're sewing. I suggest to first place the elastic around your waist and mark how long you want it to be, and then you're going to add 5 cm extra. Now you're going to insert the elastic to the channel. You can use a bobby pin or a safety pin to attach it to your elastic. I think I left 2 or 3 cm unsewn instead of 5 cm, so the opening was a little too small to insert the elastic. To secure the elastic, you have to overlap the elastic with 2.5 cm over the other. I think the overlap of my elastic was 2 cm. So then you're going to stitch the elastic by stitching a box. And for maximum security, you can stitch an X in the middle of the box stitch. After you sew it, it should look something like this. My box looks a little smaller, so I suggest to overlap it with 2.5 cm. Then you're going to stretch the waistband and hide the elastic inside. Now you're going to close up that hole which you left earlier by stitching that. To finish off the waistband seam, you're going to overlock the edges. Then you're going to determine the middle of the waistband from the fold line to the seam and sew a straight line along the waistband on the center of the waistband. Try to stretch the waistband as you sew. And then the waistband is basically done. Lastly, you're going to sew the hem. Overlock the bottom edge. Fold it with 1.5 centimeter, and then you're going to pin and sew along the hem. And this is the finished loungewear pants. I'm very satisfied with the outcome. It looks so cool. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video and find it helpful so you can create your own loungewear pants. If you create your own loungewear pants, I would love to see a photo. You can send me a photo or tag me on Instagram by using the hashtag ZenIDesigns. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, share, comment, and if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching and have a blessed day. Bye bye.